Hello, everyone. How are you? We are back. This is episode number 66 of the TERRAN Lamp Show. Episode number 66 of the TERRAN Lamp Show. Thank you so much for joining me. We are here every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to share an amazing story with some amazing guests. If you would like to be a guest on the show, make sure you get a hold of me. I would love to have you. If you know someone who should be a guest on the show, please make sure you get a hold of me. DM me, message me, put it in the comments. Make sure you are following me on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. What else? The other thing, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, Apple Podcast. Make sure you're joining us on Apple Podcast as well. I truly appreciate all the support. This started off right here in my kitchen, and we have been interviewing people for 66 weeks straight, interviewing great people with amazing stories, and it's all by word of mouth and all by volunteers. So I appreciate you and everything that you are doing. So real quick, I'm going to get my guest in here in just a minute, but I wanted to let you know I am going to put two things. I'm going to put my Cash App and my Venmo in the comments. And the reason why I'm doing that, if you haven't had a chance to to listen to prior episodes, is one of the things I do as part of my give back is I pay off bills for cancer and heart disease patients. And so I have been fortunate and unfortunate to have both heart disease and cancer. And I understand that bills, treatment isn't free. So I'm going to put my Cash App and my Venmo in there. It's a long story as to why I'm doing that as opposed to many other things, but it does allow me to go in directly and pay a patient's bill directly. I do not have any, do not break any compliance rules as far as HIPAA, but I am able to go in directly to the hospitals I go to and make sure a patient's bill gets paid with the money. So I would appreciate it. I know it's kind of a trust tree thing. I would appreciate it if you are able to give anything to the fund. And it just, like I said, for myself, I go in, and when I have my regular appointments, I am able to pay off a bill for someone else in need because I understand what that means. If you have any questions, comments, show ideas, please make sure you let me know. But I'm going to put my Cash App and my Venmo. I'm learning like my Cash App and my Venmo. I'm like, oh, so let's see. Cash App. Here we go. And I don't know it all by heart yet. That's Cash App and Venmo. Cash App, Venmo. Okay, I think. There we go. And I'm going to pin it. Yes. So that is my Cash App and my Venmo if you would like to contribute to helping us pay off a heart disease or cancer patient's bill. Again, I'm just putting it out there. It's kind of like, I know it's like a trust tree thing. It's not a 501c3 officially. It's not anything like that. So just understand that from that perspective. Okay. I am going to get NJ. Actually, only one J, but let's see. Jay, hello. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my gosh, Jay, you were in like a tie, but let me tell you, I had to do some push-ups before I had, came to you. I was like, oh no, I'm coming strong. I knew you were doing your push-up thing. So I'm like, I had to do some push-ups. I had to do a work. Yeah. But I wanted to show you that I had, just came from the gym. I feel, what'd you say?
I see the guns peeking through. You flex so hard and the sleeves fell off.
Yeah. Where are they? Yeah. Somebody said they're doing their workout now. Is it, I don't want to,
Jakia.
Yeah, she says she's doing her workout now. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to do some push-ups before Jay comes on. I have to. Because you're doing that 500 push-ups. I mean, you can tell people, but, I didn't do 500. I only did a few, but not 500.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate your time. And, I've been telling everyone this is by word of mouth, and it is just by blessing over blessing over blessing that people like yourself are volunteering to come on and share their stories and, tell their journeys for everyone else to hear. So I just wanted to, like I said, I always like to publicly thank people because most of the people don't know me from a can of paint, and they come on and they share their story and we connect, and then they know me, and then we're friends. So it's all love. I really appreciate it. But let's get started. Just share us a little bit about your journey. Like I said, I kind of told people a little bit about what you're kind of into, but give us a little more of your journey.
This is my journey. It started long ago in a far off distant planet called Krypton. I lost my home world and I came crashing to Earth, and I'm here now.
And
No,
here you live in
no.
the
So Florida. I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida. And a little bit about me, the nuts and bolts of it. I'm an actor, martial artist, stuntman, motivational speaker. And pretty much my testimony is your passion will make way for your purpose.
Mm.
I think a lot of people know me. I got a lot of notoriety. I was in the film Black Panther,
Mm-hmm.
performer in that movie, and that really opened a lot of doors for me in the entertainment industry and introduced people to what I do as a person, as a martial artist and whatnot. And I've been able to converge my two worlds together. And so the short of my story is that I had the, starving artist. I was at a point where I had kind of run out of options.
Mm.
I had a hardship. I had overdrafted my account. And so,
Mm.
matter of fact, this is almost the anniversary of that time. I had um, I had overdrafted my account by 31 cents. And so I was working, I was delivering pizzas, and I wasn't doing much in terms of acting and entertainment. And so what happened, I got an overdraft fee. By this time, my rent is late. My
Mm.
apartment, hey, you owe some money. In addition, the late fee, in addition to that, I said, oh my gosh. And so I was just spazzing out. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. And because I was making money, but you don't make a lot of money delivering pizzas nowadays.
Mm.
So it was the middle of the month, and all the money I was saving to pay next month's rent, I had just spent to take care of all the late fees and overdrafts
Mm.
and everything else. And so I was effectively broke. And I was supposed to be going down to Orlando to do another job. And so I was bummed out. I called one of my friends. He was busy working. And so I had another friend here, and so she took me out. We went and got smoothies and whatnot just to kind of clear my head. And while we were out, I got a call from the head of casting for Marvel. And so somebody had passed my information and said to see if I could come in for an audition. I said yes. And so that was going to be the next day because that was October. It was Thursday, October the 12th. I remember the date.
Oh.
So, and it was going to be Friday the 13th.
Mm. Okay.
So I had to get coverage for this one job I also be doing in Orlando. Not that I had the money to go anyway. So I got another one of my friends that's an actor. I passed his information to my agent in Florida. Full disclosure here. I don't know if they know the whole story, so they're watching this. You caused us all this trouble. And so, but anyway, so it worked out. So the next morning I woke up, went down to the film studio, and it was an open call audition. They needed more people to be Jabari tribesmen for Black Panther. I didn't know what the role was at the time. I just went. And so this is where the passion comes in, because I had the necessary skills they were looking for from all my years practicing karate and Kobudo, which is weapons training. So if you're the Jabari tribe fought with the staffs. And so the Most High really set it up for me to be successful in that instance, because if you remember the movie, the Jabari tribesmen, they're big,
Mm.
mountainous men, and I'm not that big. I had the necessary skill set. So I teach people I was the little Jabari that could. And so the other performers there, they had the stature they were looking for, but maybe not necessarily the skills they were looking for. I didn't have the stature, but I had the skills they were looking for. And so, long story short, I got the call and they called me back, and so I booked Black Panther, and then I've been off and running ever since. And so when I started getting into speaking and learning how to be a motivational speaker and help people to realize their dreams the same way I have,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I coined the phrase, your passion makes way for your purpose, which isn't something new, but
Better
it's
write that down. Your passion makes way for your purpose.
passion makes way for your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So you've heard that same expression kind of reconfigured, retooled in other iterations and other ways it's been expressed. But basically, my passion made way for my purpose. So had I got that audition and not been a martial artist, I probably wouldn't have booked it because I wasn't the right size. And they didn't have the skill set, but they were big, so they used them. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't all in not have the skills. And so having that passion in martial arts and having that skill set that I developed from years of practice, going to the dojo and training, made way. And once the opportunity presented itself, it made way for me to be able to book it. So I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, passion makes way for your purpose. So you
Yeah.
got to figure out what it is, what you're passionate about, what you like, those things that kind of light the fire underneath you, and do that. And it may not make sense at the time, but it's worth it because it's going to improve your skill set in that area, and it's going to add to you as a person because now you have a skill that hopefully down the line is going to make a way for you, and that you'll be able to monetize.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you go in there with the, like you said, when you got to the audition and you kind of figured out what it was about, did you go in there with like, who cares about their size? Who cares about this? Or did you go in there with a little trepidation, like, I may not be the size they're looking for, I'm this and that? Or did you go in there like, I know I got the skill set and I'm about to take this?
I had trepidation at the before I walked in.
Mm-hmm.
They just said an audition. I don't know who or what I'm auditioning for prior
Mm-hmm.
to that day. All I know is I got an audition for a Marvel movie. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's individual. They're just gonna see me, and it's just for some reason it didn't register in my brain that this is an audition. You still have to book this
Mm-hmm.
seed. And so I had left off work. I had foregone something that was assured for this opportunity for this. And so I had that realization when I walked. I see another gentleman about a little taller than me, maybe a little more athletic of a build. I'm like, hold on, what is he doing here at my audition? And I was like, oh snap, yeah, I, I still got to book this. And at
So
that point, you know,
what about when you left?
when I left, I was, I did what I could do,
Mm-hmm.
wipe my hands on it. That was it. I was appreciative of the opportunity, and that was it. And pretty much while I was there, they kind of let me know without letting me know, like, we gonna
Oh,
bring you. But
okay.
then over my head, I'm like, I ain't counting on nothing until I called, I'm on set, and I know for certain that I booked this. But during the audition, I could kind of tell that like I did well.
Mm-hmm. So then let's go to when they called you.
Yeah. So
Were you
it,
like on cloud nine? Like,
I was on cloud nine, right?
yeah.
And it was the audition was at 9:30, I believe. So I went, did it. I was there. I hadn't eaten yet, so I had called my friend. I was like, "Hey, did you cook?" Like, "Yeah, I cooked." I'm like, "Bet, I'm coming over."
Mm-hmm.
So I was over there, and so we just chit chatting. She had made some vegan pancakes and some other stuff, and so I'm eating. Then I get the call. Guy called me and said, "Hey, is this Jay?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, Jay, this is Travis." And all right. He's like, "Yeah, so what's your availability next week between such and such date to such and such date? Are you available?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Good, because we want to book you for Black Panthers. Does that work for you?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, it works for me."
You're like, don't say, you don't say less, as they say, right? Say
Yes. That wasn't phrased back then, but yeah, but say less. Like, yo, I next son, like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay rent next month. So yes, I'm working.
I see greetings from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street, first time listening. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Isaiah,
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, I think it's somebody's giving you the clap there. I think it's amazing that feeling. I mean, that feeling must have been just like you said, you went, because when you started off this interview, you said you had negative 31 cents, you know?
Yeah.
In that little spectrum of time, you went from negative 31 cents to booking Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. And so what had happened was, so at this point, I had I was basically leapfrogging jobs, right, to put
Mm-hmm.
together each month to cover my rent and my expenses. And so all the jobs I had been working up until this point had pretty much dried up. And so now, okay, now I got to do something else. And so I was on Indeed, and oh, you can make upwards of $25 an hour delivering pizza. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good money. But you
Did
know,
you know that you were, so when you started off acting, did you know that the martial arts component was going to be the thing that you did?
no, I didn't. I did martial arts because I
But you
enjoy.
didn't know it was going to kind of come into leading into, something martial arts. Black, obviously, you didn't know it was going to be Black Panther. You didn't know it was going to come into Stuntman. You didn't know that that was going to be, because that was because it sounds like to me, it's like when you said, your passion makes way for your purpose. Well, your passion has always been, it sounds like martial arts, right? Prior to this. But then it just so happens that now that's also kind of living out your purpose as you book these uh, things in the martial arts space. When your London says, when you're down to nothing, God is up to something. Yep.
Yes, yes, I
I
like
like
that. On
it.
that line,
So you didn't really know that that was going to, how it was going to land. Those two worlds were going to collide.
I didn't. I just did it, and so up until that point, everything was separate. So, um, I've always been in some kind of art as a
Mm-hmm.
child, and so my earliest influence in martial arts was I had a cousin, and I've lost track of him, but I never forgot him because when I was a child, we had a family reunion, and he was there, and so he had nunchaku and was swinging them. Absolutely fascinated by fascinated. I was the only child, so I was shy. So I'm, Mom, can you take me? Can you take me over to my cousin? So she took me over there. And I don't know what I said to him. I thought he was just the coolest thing. So every family reunion, I had to see him. And just to him it was nothing. That's just what he did. To me, it was everything.
Mm.
And I don't know if you realize how much he influenced me for my life going forward.
Okay.
Like I was a child seeing this, and so
Mm-hmm.
I got him, and that influenced me to the point when I became old enough and could go and practice some martial arts. That's what I did from that influence that I seen, and so that's why I believe it's important now that you have to follow your passion and do what you even even if it's for the next person because he in his way he gave me permission to be myself and to express
Yeah.
in that way. And so now I'm kind of conscious of that now, what I'm doing, that I just do it for me, but back in my mind, somebody might be watching me.
Mm-hmm.
They're motivated, right? They don't have the necessary, they don't have the people around them to cultivate who they are and really nurture their passion. Because my uncle did Taekwondo, but he didn't raise me or anything. It,
Mm-hmm.
it was an outside influence that sparked this passion in me, and nobody really around to nurture it. I just had to do that and strike off on my own. And so hopefully somebody sees me doing what I'm doing. It's like, yo, it's okay to be yourself. What
Yeah.
in martial arts, it might be sewing or something, but
Mm-hmm.
I keep practicing and get better at it. Who knows
So
what with it?
So, going to the obstacles a little bit, where there are people saying, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, what? Go back to the pizzas, or go back to something else. Like, what are you doing? Why are you?" And Evelyn says, "Hey, hey."
Hey,
Were there people, what were the obstacles, or were there people kind of naysayers saying, "Why are you doing this?"
yeah, this is my family didn't understand, and I grew
Mhm.
up in Florida, and so where I grew up, and when I started practicing karate, there was nobody else black practicing. There was JoJo, so it was just me and these older middle-aged white men. But this is where I had landed to practice karate, and so I stuck with it. I enjoyed the arduous nature of it, the push-ups, the bumps, the bruises. I
Mhm.
enjoyed all that, so I just kept going back. And my cousins, they would come with me, but they didn't understand it, and they weren't into it. They were into the more typical things that black men do: basketball,
Mhm.
base, football, those things like that. But I just kept going, and so yeah, and so that's what I did, and it paid off for me later. And I got the skill set now that I try to share with other people. I teach women self defense.
Mhm.
I,
I like that you said, to be you it gave yourself you're giving yourself permission to be yourself, right? Like you took that unique path, you stood with it. And I think that's hard sometimes, right? Especially when you're broke. Um two, where you're not sure where it's gonna go, like
yeah,
where it's going to go, but you know that this is where your heart lies, and I think in addition to the lesson of discipline with regards to martial arts, because I can imagine the discipline overall that's came out of it, that's giving younger men or women, that permission to have a unique passion,
yeah,
stick with it even in the hard times, because there will be hard times. It's not a matter of if they're going to be, there will be, but to stick with it. And then, I mean, to me, it seems like it's such a physically demanding thing, so your mind, body, and soul had to kind of stick with it, right? I mean, yeah, maybe tell us about that a little bit, because were you ever like just physically like, you know what? Again, I'm tapping out here.
I took breaks. I did, but I can't. So I think Dr. King says is if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl,
Mm-hmm.
push forward. So I had those moments when I was running and I had to break it down to a crawl just to catch up.
Right?
But yeah, so are you familiar with the Karate Kid?
Yes.
The original one, Daniel wax on, wax off.
Yeah, I can say I'm dating myself, so don't,
Okay,
but yeah.
DVD.
Yeah, I'll watch it on DVD.
You
Yeah.
watch DVD. And so that's the particular art that I practice, Okinawan Goju Ryu Karate. So Mr. Miyagi is a play on the originator of that style, Chojin Miyagi. And so it's an arduous style. So Goju translates into hard, soft. So
Mm,
have softer kind of receiving movements with the open hand,
mm,
ashi, kind of wax on for the block.
mm. Yeah.
Uh, paired with more harder style training. So just to give you a glimpse into the training, we would do knuckle push-ups. We would do, yeah, and it's a hardwood floor too. So it's a traditional dojos with a hardwood floor. So, my knuckles got kind of gnarled at the time. And so we would do sit-ups, squats, shikodachi stance, which is horse stance. We would sit into that. We would do body conditioning. So we would pair up with one another, and we would bang forearm to forearm, the conditional forearms. We'd kick shin to shin. We would
Mm,
kick each other's legs and everything to toughen the body to be able to withstand blows.
mm,
A lot of calisthenics and everything. We had something called a makawara, which is a striking pose. It's a very rudimentary, like almost nowadays you hit a heavy bag, but now
mhm,
it's a piece of wood with a thin piece of leather on it, and you would punch it to develop focus for your punches and to develop your knuckles as well. Because one of the things I learned early on fighting is that, you know, to hurt somebody else is to hurt yourself, right? Because it hurts to fight. You're striking somebody's head with your hand. That's hard. It's gonna hurt them, but it's gonna hurt you as well. So we do the conditioning to lessen that, but it's a reality of it. So that made that that was the thought process of mine of like, okay, be sure if you have to use this, that it's for a good reason because you're gonna
yeah.
play yourself as well.
Yeah. Shakia, I hope I'm saying that right. She says, not my testimony. No, yeah, mine either. But we got others. We got others. Yeah. I, I don't really have nails, but the ones that I do have, I can see them getting broken. It would just be, a bad thing. Yeah, not my testimony either, girl, but we got others. I mean, I think that, like I said, it's physically demanding. And I think that not only could you give up here, you're literally, like I said, I mean, your body has to be able to withstand all those things coming at it. And I think the combination of that, physical, mental, and emotional, is like a lot on top of, to your point of already in a situation where you deemed yourself, to be struggling. But I think what's cool about it is, this is about what the show is about. It's about people that overcame some, these type of things, and you stuck with it. And now, I mean, Black Panther is one of the most amazing movies in history, and you are part of it. And I think that your spectrum of where you went from, in that amount of time is amazing. And now you're in a position that you're able to give that to others, right? Like now you're teaching, you're giving back, you're sharing, and bless you. And you're motivating. So tell us about this. Are you finished the 30 days of 500 everything?
Yeah, I finished it.
If you guys have not seen this, it's like 500 squats, 500 sit-ups, and 500 push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? So yeah, I just did my 5 before we got on the show. That's all I got for him. But I tried muscle shirt. He wore a tie. I tried to wear my muscle shirt because I had to come on the show like I had done something. But so tell us about that. I mean, tell us more about it.
So what motivated?
I'm just curious.
So what motivated me to do that? Like most things on YouTube, you look up a video, you're looking for cats, and then it'll suggest something else to you. So I was looking up karate related, and then this video popped up about this guy named his name was the Great Gama. He was an East Indian wrestler from back in the late 1800s, and so it was reported that he moved a 1,200 kilogram stone, which is a lot of weight. That's in pounds, 2,800.
Yeah, times 2.5, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it's over a ton. He lifted the stone and moved it. So it didn't say how far, but he moved it physically. I said, what the fuck? What kind of workout was he doing?
Yeah.
So his workouts were just body weight, just calisthenics. But he would do 5,000 squats, 3,000 push-ups, run, and wrestle 40 minutes a day. But he started as a young child, just wrestling. That was his
5,000 push-ups a day.
3,000 push-ups, 5,000 squats a day.
There's not enough time in the day.
That's all you do. Life is just work, wrestling. That's all he did. He didn't do anything else. He slept, he ate, he wrestled, and he worked out. That was it. I said, whoa. And so I was gonna try to do 1,000, but I was like, all right, I got other stuff I need to do throughout the day. So
you got life you need to live.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm gonna have to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do 500 of each. That's a good start because I was already doing 100 of each a day. And so I was like, I can do 500. And so that was 1,500 reps a day. So by the end of it, because that was my August 31 days, I ended up doing over 46,000 reps total of all 3 of the exercises.
Oh, so it's over. So you're finished? I knew it was 30 some days. What'd you say?
I've been slow with the posting, so that was all. So yeah, I've done it already.
Okay. I didn't know if it was over. I knew it was like 31 days you were doing it, but whatever it was, I was just like, man, this is like insane. I mean, because to me, 500 is insane. So I did see it. That's as far as I got. Like I did squats. I did some squats. I did some push-ups. I did some sit-ups. But Shakia said you're swole now. I bet. I'm putting back
hard.
Muscles ain't nothing. I wore my muscle shirt thinking I was doing something, Shakia, but no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I mean, I think again, that's the testimony to hear, right? Mm-hmm. Because it is obviously physically demanding, but it's also mentally demanding. And I think that's what to me, your story is about, that holding that true to your mental game, to your physical game. and, you know, transforming your life's journey from, like you said, smoothies and negative 31 cents to being an amazing, you know, one of the most amazing movies in history, a stuntman, an actor, you know, and now you're giving back. And I think that's, you know, that start has came full circle for you. And I think that's an amazing thing. So we are at 8 o'clock. But I'm going to ask you one more question. Since yes, you are. You got your cute. Oh, she's talking to me.
Yeah.
I love her. I love you.
Shakia
What'd you say?
is dope, by the way.
She is. I mean, I love her already. Shakia, got to get you on the show too, girl. So
Yeah.
we're at 8:01, but I have tried to ask every guest this, and you mentioned cats, but I don't know if you look at my page and I'm not like cat. I'm not the crazy cat lady, but I have a cat and I save cats. It's a long story. Check out my page for my cat stories. So everyone knows that curiosity kills the cat. But my question to you is, what are you curious about?
That's a deep question. Life, our experience here, and you think about it, it's like it's an unraveling and then a re-raveling of everything. Because, you know, if you think stuff, we're born into stuff and it's just accepted. And you just go with it because that's all you know. But then you learn something new and unravels something that you previously adhered to or thought that you knew. It's like, well, nah, I see this different now. Information's out here. This is different. And so it's an unraveling of everything that you thought you knew. And then you're relearning something else. And then the deeper you go, the more you realize that you just don't know. And so that's what I'm curious about, just how much I don't know. And it's an unlearning at the same time. So that's what I'm curious about, just the unraveling of this and putting it together. So that's what I'm curious about, going down the rabbit hole.
Okay. I like that to kind of figure out what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Well, we are at 8:02, and like I said, I do try to keep on schedule. So, Jay, I'm going to call you in a little bit. I actually have another meeting, believe it or not, after this. So I'm going to call you in a little bit. I know you're on East Coast time, so if I don't reach you, let's touch base tomorrow. I want to thank you so first of all, guys, if you're still listening, that's my Venmo and my Cash App. And what I do with what you send is not a 501c3, not anything official. It's just Trust Tree, good old TERRAN. I take the money and donate that to pay cancer and heart disease patients' bills for them. I take it directly to the hospitals that I go to for my own treatment and pay somebody's bills, hopefully pay them off, but if not, make a little dent in them. So if you're interested in just giving to that, it's just, like I said, standard giving, nothing special. Like I said, and Jay, I'm going to touch base with you soon.
Okay.
And thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. And if anybody would like to be on the show, or if you know someone who'd like to be on the show, get in touch with me. We are 3 minutes over episode 66 of the TERRAN Lamp Show.
It is, and I'm signing off. But just an earlier point, and this relates to you also. So I was talking about my cousin and how he gave me permission to be who I am, and so it's just important that we all live and we do what we do and we do what we're passionate about, because it gives others permission to be themselves also. And I'm sure you did the same thing with this show. You were passionate about it and you just started it, and so other people, you give them permission, like, you know what, she started this show, I'm gonna start my own show, I'm gonna do my right. And so that's important. So I want to thank you for having this platform, allow me to come on and talk, and we can share and glean other things from other people, so other people can share their light to give other people permission to live and not just exist.
Well, I'm thanking you, my friend, because this wouldn't happen without people like you willing to give their time and their talents. So
Thank you.
Be good to yourself and each other. I'll talk to you soon. And I'm back to push-ups, ladies and gentlemen. Back to push-ups. Bye, honey.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.